Bachelorette and the runner-up, Nick, speaking out to us for the first time today.
Yeah, I mean, he's the man that everybody wants to hear from. So why did Nick tell everybody live on TV that he was, intimate with the Bachelorette, Andi? I put him on the spot when he came to ET earlier today, and here is how he explains it. Why did you bring up the fact that you had had sex with Andi? Why were you willing to tell the world?
Well, I mean, I was probably as caught off guard or surprised that I said that as anyone.
If you weren't in love with me, why you made love with me, I don't.
Well, first of all, I think that's kind of below the belt.
It wasn't just about the sex. It was more to me about the intimacy. Maybe if I could have just articulated that a little bit more, because, you know, we were two consenting adults. Like, it wasn't like she owed me anything because that happened. You know, when she came out, I was, obviously it was in a emotionally charged environment. I had just got done watching, the finale like everyone else, and I was a little taken back, I think, by her demeanor. And
she was very cold.
A little cold. There seemed to be like a complete lack of empathy, and I think I was just so taken back by that.
Were you in love with him?
I was not in love with him.
It's hard to hear that.
Would producers have encouraged you to ask that question?
Would they?
Did they?
They certainly didn't. Yeah.
They didn't.
No, absolutely. I mean, I take full responsibility for my actions and words, but I came out afterwards and like, whoa.
They said that.
Yeah, they were as surprised as anyone.
So you didn't plan on any way going in and asking that question?
No, not at all. I mean, who goes on live television expecting to drop that bomb?
You were recorded on the plane without your being known.
Yeah. A lot of firsts, I suppose, for me.
Josh won't say like, he'll do whatever she wants. He just eats, sleeps, and like has a bad temper.
I was a mess. That was like, I think the day after it ended, I was confused and heartbroken, and I had just flown in finally to the States. I have my phone for the first time. I reached out to my parents and say, hey, I'm back in the States.
Did you get in trouble with the show?
They weren't happy with me. In that recording, I might have a little been hard on Josh. I certainly wish I could, take some of that back.
You still in love with her now?
I think Monday night was a lot of closure for me that I needed. Not necessarily about the question, but again, her whole demeanor and the process.
There's a whole lot more to the story. Were they a good match in the fantasy suite? I mean, you know what I mean. Could that have been what was wrong? Well, I asked Nick for the truth. Now that we know that you guys did make love, had sex, was the chemistry lacking in that way? Could that have been it?
I mean, not in my mind. No, I mean, the whole experience, like what I loved about the relationship that we had is how much we both, throughout when you watch it back, how we both talk about our emotional and our mental and physical connection. I mean, yeah, no, it was, I mean, I felt good about it. It was effortless.
You're blushing over there now.
Thanks, Pat.
You're welcome. Yeah. We interviewed Andi the day after the final rose, and this is what she had to say.
Definitely blindsided in a sense. You would hope people wouldn't put that on national television, but you know what? It happened. It's over. It's done. I'm glad to have put that behind me, and reaffirms my decision with Josh, absolutely.
They have since called it classless, disrespectful, both Josh and Andi. But you're saying that's not what you intended.
And that's what I intended, and I respect, obviously, Josh, he's a good guy, and he's gonna support his fiance, and I absolutely respect that.
Honestly, I don't take it as shaming me on national television. Like, I'm a woman, I can do what I want these days, and if someone wants to air dirty laundry, then it's more shame on them. Like, I have a fiance that loves me, that knows everything about this process.
How do you react to that?
I'm glad she doesn't feel shame, because that certainly wasn't my intention. So that means a lot that she feels that way. I know it was a difficult situation for everyone, but I wasn't even trying to air dirty laundry, for sure. I mean, I would have loved the opportunity to have a conversation in private, but when you go through a breakup like that, then bam, it's over. Like, it raises a lot of questions and doubts and wonder, and that's how people deal with, breakups. It wasn't a show, to me. It was real life. As hurt and sad as I am about how things ended, that doesn't stop me from wanting them to be, totally happy.
Well, as many naysayers as you have, you've got a lot of fans, too, a lot of women who thought you were very emotionally open. Would you ever be the Bachelor? Would you do it if they asked you?
I think anyone would be flattered to even be considered. But
is that a yes?
I would have to talk to my family. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I would have to make sure like my heart is open and ready for that, and in fairness to myself and those other people. So it would be flattering to be considered.
But they haven't approached you yet?
No, they haven't said anything to me.